Those who hear me well, properly, can you please raise your hands? No, it's good. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for quick feedback. So let's start over. So today we'll be focusing on the report speech, okay? And it's splitting into two parts. The first part, today we'll be focusing on reported statements, positive and negative sentences. And third part, which we'll be focusing on tomorrow, is reported questions. Okay, so let's see the definition. Definition says we use reported speech or indirect speech. Today you will hear this many times, either reported or indirect speech. Okay, we use it to report what another person has said, but not using the speaker's exact words. There are some changes then. Okay, if you use the speaker's exact words, so it is not reported speech. Now, from time to time, we can even use the speaker's exact words. We will see why it is so. Okay, and the structure is a little different depending on whether we want to transform a statement or a question or a request. So this request is out of question for the time being. We'll be focusing on these two things, one of which is statement, the other is question. And today, statement. So the main change. Okay, this is my last solution. How about now? Do you hear me? Sorry for the inconvenience. I don't know what it's resulting from. Okay, thank you guys. Or somebody's trolling me that they cannot hear. Whatever, so hopefully it's fine. So I was talking about this tense changes in reported speech and when to say direct speech, when to say reported speech or indirect speech. We say direct speech when we are talking about the original sentence. And the original sentence is most of the time, is used in quotation marks. Please pay attention where I am choosing. Okay, see this quotation mark marks that this sentence is original. It was uttered. It's in its original sense. Okay. So, and we will evaluate the tenses, not all of them, but most of them. Indirect speech. If the sentence is she always wears a coat, it would be better if it was in quotation mark. In reported speech or in indirect speech, in other words, it needs to be changed into he said that. By the way, pay attention. That is optional to use while reporting something. Whether you use it or not, no problem. He said that she always wore a coat. So because we're talking about something about she, we didn't change the subject pronoun. And the only thing that we changed here is wears changed into wore because in direct speech, if the sentence is in present simple, in reported speech, it must be changed into past simple. Okay, and the following changes are as follows. Present continuous in direct speech should be changed into past continuous. I am looking will change into was looking. Present perfect will change into past perfect. She has written will change into she had written. Okay. Same like present perfect, past simple in direct speech will change into past perfect in reported speech. My friend gave me, his friend had given him. Don't think about why this pronoun me changed into him. I will come to this point a few minutes later, okay? But pay attention, this gave changed into had given. Had plus verb 3 is giving us the formula of past perfect. Will, in direct speech, if you utter a sentence with will, in direct speech, in original sentence, and we want to change it into would in reported speech, in indirect speech. What's the sentence? I'll finish my report in 2 days. He said he would finish his report in 2 days. As you see, will was changed into would. Will, direct speech. Would, reported speech. Okay. Can will change into could. Okay. And the rest you do not have anything to do with. May, must, have to. You don't need to check these items up. So how about time and place changes? Please pay attention to these time and place changes. In direct speech, a month ago should be reported like a month before. Okay, Deborah, we will come to this point. Please pay attention. Follow me, okay? So in direct speech, if it is a month ago, while I'm reporting this, it will change into a month before. The day in direct speech will change into that day. The night will change into that night. These days, in direct speech, while I'm reporting it, will change into those days. Yesterday, the day before. Yesterday is in direct speech. The day before is in reported speech. Now, in direct speech, will change into the then in reported speech, in indirect speech. Reported speech, or in other words, indirect speech. Okay? Keep in mind, they are both the same. Reported speech or indirect speech, they are the same. They are the same naming. Okay. So if it is last month in direct speech, in indirect speech, in reported speech, the previous month, the month before, you need to change it. Remember the rule, not using the speaker's exact words. We are able to use reported speech. We are able to report their sayings, their sentences, not exact words, not using the exact words. Pay attention to this. Okay. Next month, the following month, in reported speech. Tomorrow, the next day, the following day, in indirect speech. Here will be changed into there in indirect speech. Okay, and there are some changes to do with possessive pronouns, possessive adjectives. Okay, for example, the subject pronoun I and you will change into she and he. Possessive, sorry, not possessive. Subject pronoun we and you will change into they. Me and you. Object pronouns will change into him or her. Us and you, object pronouns will change into them. Okay. I'll give some further examples, Elian. Please pay attention. I'm now explaining the principles of the report speech. Okay. We'll get into details. Please give me some more time. So when it comes to possessive adjectives, my and your will change into his and her, or possessive pronoun, mine or yours, will change into his or hers. Our or your possessive adjective will change into their. Possessive pronoun ours and yours will change into theirs. This in direct speech will change into that in reported speech. These in direct speech will change into those in reported speech. And some examples. Better to use the pen while making the changes for you to see closer. She said that, or she said, as you see, quotation mark. Why quotation mark? It marks that it is the original sentence to be reported. She said that I went to the cinema yesterday. So guys, let me use the annotator. Can I do it? Let me see. I can't do it. Yes, I can do it. I think this highlighter will well. See, it's I, and yesterday. See how they changed in the sentence. She said that she, this I changed into she, okay? And yesterday changed into the previous day. The previous day, I think it was on this page, remember, yesterday was supposed to be the previous day, the day before, okay? And I pronoun changed into either she or he. As an example, this I changed into she. And this yesterday changed into the previous day. How about the tense? How about the tense? This went in the original sentence, which is past simple, changed into had gone. Sorry, it's changed into had gone. Why? Because in the original sentence, which is direct speech, if it is past simple, in reported speech, we need to refer to past perfect. Okay? And this is what we did in the first sentence. How about the second? Tom said, this is Tom's sentence, I'm writing a letter. So I'm writing a letter is uttered by Tom. And while we are reporting this to someone, Tom said that, let me use the pen. Yes. So, see, I am writing, okay? He was writing. Why is it so? Because of the changes that we need to do while reporting an original sentence. This is the original sentence because it's in quotation mark, as you see. And while we are reporting it, we say we change this I into he and am writing into was writing. Let's refer to this page one more time because the original sentence in direct speech, if it is in present continuous, we need to change it into past continuous in reported speech. I am looking for, she was looking for, I am writing, he was writing. Why is it he but not she? Because we are talking about Tom. Martha said, I'm very tired. I am very tired. This is a sentence uttered by Martha. And while we are reporting this, some things need to be changed. Like Martha said, she was very tired. And let's use the pen one more time, one last time. This I changed into she in the report speech. And this am changed into was. Why? One more time, less flashback. Present simple tense in direct speech will be changed into past simple tense in reported speech. That's why we made these changes, guys. Why is it is not he but she? Because Marta is the one speaking. Okay, do you hear me well, guys? Okay, thank you very much for your attention. Lots of thanks. Okay, so let's have a further look. Let's have a deep look into some other sentences. My mother is a lawyer, which is a direct speech sentence. In reported speech, in indirect speech, it will be changed into past simple this way. He said that, or he said, his mother, because we are talking about this boy's mother, he said that, or he said, his mother was a lawyer. This is changed into was. Present simple, indirect speech, changed into past simple in reported speech. Present continuous, I am learning English, will change into he said, or he said that he was learning English. Remember, this I pronoun was changing into either into he or she. Here the boy is talking, that's why we change it into he. And am learning, which is present continuous, was changed into was learning. It would be better if these sentences on this row were put into a quotation mark. Why? Because these are the original sentences. And the last sentence, I started out as a teacher, which is in past simple in direct speech. So while I'm reporting this, in reported speech, he said that, or he said, he had started out as a teacher. Started, which is in past simple, was changed into had plus verb 3, which is for past perfect in reported. Okay. So there are some further sentences, but I'll take just two of them, or let's say three of them. In direct speech, present perfect, I've lost my keys, will change into in reported speech to past perfect. He said he had lost. Have lost changed into had lost. And because the boy is talking here, we change this I pronoun into he pronoun and this my possessive adjective into his possessive. Okay. And what's the case to do with can and will? I can do it alone, which is a modal verb. It should be changed into could. He said he could do it alone. I pronoun again, changed into he. Can, modal verb, is changed into could. Direct speech, can, reported speech. And how about the case? What's the case with will? If it is will in direct speech, I need to change it into would in reported speech. I'll help you later. He said he would or he would help me later. This is the one that is the word is uttered to. It is me. So I need to change this you into me in this sentence. So guys, that's all for today with this presentation. So next screen sharing is my notes that I took as a summary from the book. So focus on this part right after listening to me. Focus on this part for the statements. Read this silently. Read this part silently. Saad, your request will be completed. Yes, right after this lesson. Hopefully, I will be uploading it to my channel again for further use, for further replays. But for the timing, can you please focus on reading And thank you very much, but I don't think I'll get that many subscribers. Whether these lessons are useful for you or not, this the how to say core concern. Okay, hopefully it will be useful for you, and the things that you didn't understand, the topics you want to have a closer look into, you can go there and watch it. If it's your choice. No, I mean, because we are talking about somebody. Yeah, it's they. You cannot make it into singular. This is plural. Okay. So, guys, I think you read it. And report statements, Unit 8, in the Unit 8, right or wrong. It says the first rule says when we report somebody's words, we often have to change the verb forms. Wanted, remember the changes that we have just talked about. Okay. Lesson is not over yet. We have just 40 minutes more, Mustafa. Okay. So present simple in direct speech changed into past simple in report speech. Have never told, which is present perfect, was changed into past perfect in report speech. Past simple spent in direct speech changed into had spent in report speech, which is past perfect. Okay. No problem, Debar. There's one now. No problem. So indirect speech will be changed into report speech would. Can will be changed into could in report speech. These are already the items that we talked about, okay? And some further details. We often have to change other words too, as we talked before, such as pronouns and time references. What are the pronouns? What are the pronouns? Pronouns, sorry. It's I is a pronoun, he is a pronoun, okay? You, subject pronoun, sorry, object pronoun, he, subject pronoun, me, object pronoun, you, subject pronoun, me, object pronoun, she, subject pronoun, us, object pronoun, we, subject pronoun, her, object pronoun. But for God's sake, teacher, how am I supposed to differentiate between these subject pronouns and object pronouns? I can hear like you're asking such a question. So the thing is, whether the sentence starts with I, he, they, you, she, okay, this is this is subject pronoun. Okay, why? Because we are generally starting the sentences with that. And how am I supposed to know when it is object pronoun? I think I gave a quick tip in the previous lessons when we were at school. It was like if the word is used right after the verb, the action, and if it is affected by the action, so this is object pronoun. So I'll show you in the sentence, I is the subject pronoun, while you is the object pronoun. Why? Because you is the word, is the pronoun that is affected by the action. Who is showing? Who will show? I. Who will do the action? I will do the action. What's the action? It's show. Who will I show? I'll show you. Okay. So in this way, if you ask this order of questions, so you'll get the right answers, hopefully. You'll get the proper answers for your questions, which is subject pronoun, which is object pronoun. But this is not the core topic, core point that we need to focus on. Just follow me how I am changing that. I'll show you the false passports tomorrow. So he said, the sentence starts with he said, and right after he said, there is he, because this is replacing I. We are talking about what he said. That's why this I will change into he. And there's will, and it is changed into would. This is the shortened, abbreviated form of would. Right after would, there comes the action, verb, show, and there comes you in the original sentence, direct speech. Then this is changed into me in the reported speech sentence. And this tomorrow is changed into the next day, the day after. Okay? You didn't see me last weekend. She told us that, taking you as the plural form. So it is changed into we. We hadn't seen her the weekend before. You are free, of course. Okay, so she told us that we hadn't seen her the weekend before. We changed this you into we took it plural, and this me into her because we are talking about she. And last weekend is changed into the weekend before. And there's one more note which is really very important for you. It is we don't need to change the verb forms if the situation is still true at the time of reporting or is imaginary. So under these circumstances, we do not change the verb form. What are these situations? When the situation is still true at the time of reporting or when the situation is imaginary. Like, my name is Sophia, that the reality, that the truth that my name is Sophia won't change. That's why my name is Sophia can be changed, can be reported in the same tense, even while reporting. Like she said that her name is Sophia. And if I committed a crime, I wouldn't talk about it online. Remember the previous study page that we talked about. So the sentence is in second conditional. In second conditional, what we talk about is unreal, imaginary present. So because we are talking about something imaginary, something unreal, better not to change, better stick to the tense. He said that if he committed a crime, see, the same tense, comma, he wouldn't talk about it online. And the same thing, wouldn't talk. The only change we made is to do with pronouns. I is changed into he here. Please pay attention to this rule a lot. Why? Because this is very important. So at what situations we do not need to make changes? When the situation is still true at the time of reporting, like my name is Sofia, or when the situation is imaginary, it is unreal for the time, like in second condition. So we do not need to make any changes. So guys, last words before the time is up. Last words. So for further details, on page, I think it was 69, which I'm not sure about. So that's 69. On page 78 in your workbooks, okay, there are more exercises for your use. Please do not skip to do them, okay? These are really very important. Why? Because practice makes perfect, as I repeated before. Guys, just to be on topic, just to revise the things that you learned, that was covered, please stick to the homeworks given, homework that were set. Okay, so this page 78 is homework G. So that's all from me today. So if you like to watch it again, I'm now uploading it for further revision. It will be available there. Okay, thanks for joining the lesson, guys. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow will be the last lesson as far as I know, so hopefully that lesson will be focusing on the reported questions. Okay. Thanks all for joining. See you.